And good morning, everybody. This is going to serve as our introduction to World War One and this era. And we have a political cartoon, and the characters represent Germany, and they're holding a sword with U-boat murder on it. This represents Kaiser. This represents President Wilson, Woodrow Wilson, who asked Congress to declare war on Germany. Mostly because of the sinking of the Lusitania and German U-boat activity, which we'll go into later on. America had declared itself a neutral, but was actively aiding England and France, and not aiding Germany. So they definitely were taking sides, even though they had declared that they were neutral, and they were sending military hardware as well as other resources that could support the war effort, food, spare parts, things like that. Germany thought this was an aggressive act by the United States and started going after the United States shipping boats because they were aiding a combatant. So the Germans considered it fair game. You need to flip the shoes around and act as if someone was attacking the United States and a foreign country was only helping them and giving tanks, planes, bullets, machine guns, as well as food, spare parts, raw materials, petroleum, oil, gasoline, things like that to directly support the war effort or indirectly support it against your country. How would you react to it? How should the United States react to it? Well, the United States has had a doctrine that anyone who interferes in the Western Hemisphere, the United States has a policy that we will intervene and stop them. It's called the Monroe Doctrine, and we've applied it at various times. You have to understand that it's very easy to look at an enemy as being totally wrong and your country as being totally right. That is never the case in war. War is always dirty. Everyone goes into war and their hands are dirty. And when they leave, their hands are dirtier. That doesn't mean war doesn't happen. And you can make arguments that war could never be an option. Pacifists, people who believe in peace, argue that. Other people believe that war is sometimes unavoidable and necessary, and it's basically politics by other means. It's policy by other means, by overt means. So when should a country go to war? When is it justified? And think about nationalism. Think about the ideals of liberty, fraternity, and equality. Think about life, liberty, and property. When do you have, as a nation, a group of people, a society, to defend yourself or to go to war? And just think yes or no, and then think of the reason why. To protect your homeland from being attacked by a foreign country. To defend people in a peaceful, neutral country. Someone else who's not, they're neutral, and then a power attacks them. Should your country go to war to protect a foreign country that's not involved with you necessarily? To fulfill an alliance. We have treaties with certain nations. As an example, we have strong treaties with most of the nations in Western Europe, especially during the 1950s through the 1980s, and even today it's called NATO. And the idea is that an attack on any NATO country is an attack on all of us. The main object was to stop Russia and the Soviet Union and their allies, which were called the Warsaw Pact. Excuse me. What about to make your country stronger than another country? Strategically, because of position or resource, something you feel your country needs. To gain territory and outposts in other parts of the world, usually weaker nations. That's imperialism. To secure vital natural resources that you need and another country won't trade you with them. That is the reason Japan had for attacking the United States. We embargoed Japan. We stopped trading with them. Japan needed these things to survive. And so they decided we have to take America out of the Pacific. so we can get the resources we need without the American Navy there, which was why they attacked Pearl Harbor. It wasn't because they're crazy. They had a reason why. They needed oil. They needed rubber. They needed other resources in the Pacific. And they felt the only one who could stop them was the American Navy, and they wanted to destroy the fleet so they could have absolute access to these resources, or to help end a war and to prevent a future war. So which one of these reasons do you feel would validate you going to war, your country sending you to go to war and fight for your country? What concept does it show? Does it show natural rights? Does it show the ideals of the French Revolution? Does it show nationalism? Does it show imperialism? You need to be able to answer this, and this will be a good way for you to frame your thoughts on the upcoming unit and future units. That's all. Have a great rougher day.